Hello, welcome to another edition of, try to even this out, Capper Comparison Picks. I'm Ranj, and tonight I'm going to give you the Capper Comparison Picks for UFC 275, some select fights, because I do believe this is the curtain jerker to the main card. So we got prelim, the feature prelim, I think. I could be wrong, but let me double check real quick. Yeah, no. I'm sorry. I have some more prelim fights for UFC 275. Be sure to check out the video I did last night where I did go over the early prelims. That's right. I'm a day ahead of myself. So be sure to check out the video I did last night with early prelims. Stop. And here we go with the next set, more prelim fights. Starting off this show, the camera's kind of close. I realized that, but it's kind of, my kids got some band equipment and stuff. Anyway, so we're starting this show off with the welterweight fight between the Celtic Kid, Jake Matthews, and André Fialho. Or Fialho. I think it's called Fialho. That's how I'm pronouncing it. That's how it's spelled, Fialho. But, alright. André Fialho is coming off. He is making a splash in the UFC now. Ever since his debut, he lost his debut to Maheshate by unanimous decision, but then he bounced back, getting two back-to-back TKOs, one over Miguel Baeza round one, which is good on him, fantastic, and the other one was against regional scene success story Cameron Van Camp. Cameron Van Camp does have a lot of straps in multiple regional scene promotions, but yeah, he got knocked out in round one. It was kind of one-sided too. I don't know. Cameron Van Camp had a little good surge of strikes for a little bit in the beginning, but yeah, it was pretty pretty one-sided there. But before that, André Fialho was a UAE Warriors fighter where he had beat Stefan Sekulic, elbows and punches, round one, and he beat Lincoln Puig, also TKO, round one. So André Fialho, the Portuguese native, is it Portuguese? I think so, is breaking into the scene hard. Hype train is legit for André Fialho. He trains out of Sanford MMA. He's got 1 inch height and 2 inch reach advantage over the Celtic Kid, Jake Matthews. Jake Matthews, underdog here, plus 122. These guys are very similar in age. Matthews just 27. Fialho 28. But Matthews has much more UFC experience. Matthews' UFC debut was in 2014, according to Tapology. That was 8 years ago. Would have made him 19 years old. Right? Am I doing the right math? Yeah. Well, he came onto the scene at 19 years old. His last 5, okay, he lost most recently to Sean Brady. Sean Brady's phenomenal. I'm very high in Sean Brady. And he made it to round 3, but he did get arm triangles in round 3, but that's Sean Brady. Sean Brady do that to a multitude of people throughout the UFC. Before that, he managed to get a unanimous decision over an aged Diego Sanchez. Before that, unanimous decision over Emil Weber-Meek. Before that, he had a unanimous decision against Rostam Akhman. And prior to that, he did lose to Anthony Rocco Martin by Anaconda choke in round 3. That was his not his UFC debut. I told you his UFC debut was way back in 2014. Jake Matthews trains out of a place called Nexus in Australia. There's really not much more to say about Jake Matthews. He's pretty, I would say he's well-rounded. He's got some good ground game. He's got some decent stand-up. But André Fialho has been just a beast as of lately. And he's hyped. He's hyped. He's motivated. He's got the momentum. Where Matthews coming off a loss to, but it was a tough loss, Sean Brady. So let's see what the cappers have to say. It is kind of late. I had work late today, and just getting everything together. Ended up it's late right now. Nora's already in bed. Brandon's going to bed in like 4 minutes. So, Jake Matthews. No, we're going to start with André Fialho, the favorite. -142. The over is set at even odds. +100 you think it's going to go over 2.5 rounds. -130 if it's going to get stopped before that. So that's the way the bookies are leaning, that it's going to not go to distance. So let's see what the cappers have to say, starting with the favorite in André Fialho. Man, there's another way to say that name, Fialho, and I don't think I'm saying it right, but whatever. Okay, we've got the MMA fortune teller. He's on the side of Fialho. Then we jump over, take in Jake Matthews. We've got MMA Pick'ems podcast. That is my buddy Ray, and he is saying Matthews by decision. Okay, Ray, taking the underdog here. I like it. Then jump back over to Fialho. We've got What's Going On? Bleed MMA is on the side of André Fialho. Back over here, we've got Smoke Break Lay-In from UFC Gambling Addicts. I'm a patron of his, and thoroughly enjoy his very entertaining half-hour breakdown of the entire card. He's a great dude, Leighton, out of the UK. And for the tiebreaker, Nora's favorite capper, one of my friends, Vlad, the Bulgarian cowboy from UFC Celebrities and Classes, is on the side with the hot hand in André Fialho. UFC Celebrities and Classics is on the side of André Fialho. Just the hype train is legit. I too am going to go Fialho. I'm kind of reluctant because Matthews does have much more experience and he's a year younger. But like I said, I'm going to go with the hot hand right now, and that's André Fialho with the hot hand. He's motivated. The flow is going the right direction. He's calling fights out. He's like, I want to fight. He said, this is like if he wins this, it'll be like a record of the most wins in the shortest amount of time, I think, because he's fought like twice in the past month or something ridiculous. But I'm gonna go with him to get the win here against Jake Matthews. I'm not putting shade on Jake Matthews, and I do think he has a chance to win, especially if he takes it to the ground. But Fialho, I think, being at Sanford MMA with Henry Hooft. Who else is he training with? I did check out his Instagram real quick. Someone else that's on this card he's also training with. And another guy that's got a fight in like another promotion. Man, I can't think of it right now, but check out his Instagram. André Fialho is actively training with somebody else that's fighting on this card. I'll probably remember later after I'm done downloading this, uploading it, whatever you want to say. I'm going to take Fialho to get it done. Oh man, I don't know. I'm going to say maybe within distance, but no, we're going to go. Yeah, I'm going to say inside the distance. Maybe TKO, ground and pound. TKO, round three. There we go. I like it. That'll be plus money. So, moving on. You guys gotta forgive me. I am exhausted right now. I wasn't even gonna do this tonight, but man, busy. My life is very busy. So I don't know if I'll have time to do it tomorrow, and I have to fill in I still got to do another like 2 or 3 shows this week. So, moving on, we've got lightweight bout between Hayisaur Maheshate taking on Steve Garcia. Hayisaur Maheshate is 6-1 as a professional, comes in as a slight underdog at plus 145, taking on Steve Garcia. 12-4 as a professional, much more experienced person. Let me dig into this for you. Okay, Garcia is a minus 170, and that is warranted, and I'm going to explain why. A lot of people are hot on Maheshate because he came in. He's coming off Dana White's Contender Series. He was like a plus 1,000 underdog. He got rocked in the first round, and then he came back and looked phenomenal in rounds 2 and 3, and managed to beat Achilles Extremadura by unanimous decision. And this guy, I think it's Achilles. That looks how it spells. Achilles Extremadura. Get this, is the only person he's fought with a winning record. I'm not kidding you. Go look at his Tapology. Before that, he's fighting all cans. Not one of the people before that Dana White Contender Series fight has a winning record. There's records of like 10-12. I think I saw maybe like a 12-15, and everybody else is 0-2, 0-0, 0-1. I don't even think there's an 0-0. I think they were all losing records. I shit you not. Check it out for yourself. But for some reason, a lot of people are high on this kid because of his last performance in Dana White Contender Series. I don't get it. His pro debut was in 2019. That's not that long ago. And he went and he lost to a Russian guy that's 0-1-1. His record was like I said, he's never fought anybody except for his last fight. Before that, never fought anybody with a winning record. Steve Garcia, on the other hand, 12-4. He's never fought anybody with a losing record. Not one. Not one person that he's fought has had a losing record. His last fight was against Charlie Ontiveros, who's not that great, but he did manage to get the win. Charlie Ontiveros, I guess, was rocking him first round, but he managed to win in round 2 by ground and pound. Good on him. Before that, he lost to Violent Bob Ross by unanimous decision. That was his UFC debut against Luis Pena. Luis Pena is now fighting at Titan FC. He fought like last Friday. I didn't check if he won or anything. I would imagine he did win. He was a heavy favorite. I want to say minus 800 or something. I did check. I saw the stats last week. Prior to that, this Steve Garcia fought in the LFA TKO over Jose Mariscal, round 2. Okay. He went to Dana White's Contender Series, beat Desmond Torres, TKO, round 1. That's a good win. I mean, crap. Before that, Jackson Wink Fight Night, because Jackson Wink is where his facility that he trains, and they have their own like little fight promotion for up-and-comers. And he beat Andrew Whitney, TKO, round 1. Good on you. Steve Garcia's pro debut was 2013. We're like, oh, well, he lost to like, he has got some weird losses. He lost to Alon Cruz. Okay, he lost to Alon Cruz. That's not a good look. But you know what? He also got some weird wins. He beat Ronnie Lawrence. You guys know Ronnie Lawrence, excellent wrestler, grappler. He beat Ronnie Lawrence back in 2016 in Bellator by unanimous decision. That was way before Maheshate. Maheshate is only 22 years old. He's still a kid. Garcia's 30. Seasoned. Got some seasoning on. Got some salt and pepper up in there. So anyway, I don't know what the big deal is about this kid that's fought nobody that I know the names of. He's only fought one person with a winning record. It happened to be his last fight in Dana White's Contender Series. And he got rocked first round, just turned it around and won round 2 and 3. So, and got the unanimous decision. But yet, the line is super close. And let's see, I'll show you what the cappers are taking. Maheshate fights out of the Embo Fight Club, interesting enough. Well, Chinese, what do you expect? And that you got to think, all his loser cans that he fought, and they were cans, trust me, they are all cans. All losing records. I couldn't believe it when I looked that up. I want to say of his 7 fights, I think 5 of them were in WLF Wei Lu Feng. We got that one, and we got the Dana White Contender Series. I think there was one more. Oh, his original one where he lost to that Russian was an M1 in his UFC debut. He was 0-0 against a 0-1-1 guy that beat him by unanimous decision. So I'm just saying, what's the... Okay, guys. But nevertheless, let's see what the cappers have to say here. First taking Garcia, the favorite. We've got Leighton. Or no, I'm sorry, not Leighton. Leighton's on the side of Maheshate. We got Vlad, UFC Celebrities and Classics. Vlad, he's taking Garcia. And then his second bet would be the fight to not go the distance. Leighton's on the side over here with the Chinese kid. I guess they see something. The recency bias is strong in this one. Then we've got Ray from the MMA Pick'ems podcast taking Garcia by decision. Taking the Chinese character over here, we've got Lead MMA. And finally, the MMA fortune teller for the tiebreaker is on the side of Hayisaur Maheshate. Yes, the teller is also taking this kid that's only fought one person with a winning record ever and won 2 of the 3 rounds to get the unanimous decision. Going against Garcia. Steve Garcia's been a pro since 2013, has fought notable names, has beat notable names. Ronnie Lawrence is a good win. You guys, I know Charlie Antiveros isn't the best win, but still, he did get the ground and pound in round 2. And the other guys, okay, they're not the greatest, but still, I think their touch. LFA, I would say, is a little bit better than Wei Lu Feng, WLF Wars. Well, that's just me. Who knows? I don't know. I guess there's a shot for. I guess Maheshate's got some sharp boxing skills. 22 years old, hot prospect. But I just don't see it. So I'm going to go on the side of the one with the better veteran experience. Knows what he's doing in there. He's seen a lot. He hasn't fought one person with a losing record. Never in his career. This guy, his whole 7 fights are padded with losers, with people with losing records. Fought 1. Check it out. Check it for yourself if you don't believe me. So I'm on the side of Garcia. That just makes sense to go here. Makes sense. He's fought better people. He's a better fighter. He's going to get the decision win over Maheshate. Man, he might, you know what? He's gonna knock this kid out. TKO for Garcia, and I think it's gonna probably be we'll say round 2. Round 2. There you have it. That'll make it a plus money bet. So, moving on. Finally, we got this banger. This is going to be a good one. Seongwoo Choi, Sting, taking on Joshua Culibao. Joshua Culibao fighting out of Australia, out of Igor MMA Academy in Sydney, where he resides as an MMA coach, one of 2 MMA coaches down at Igor MMA Academy. He's almost 2-1 favorite. It was 200. The line money's been coming in on Josh Culibao, dropping that plus 200 to a plus 195. Seongwoo Choi is 10-4 as a pro. He opened up minus 240. He is now minus 230. Like I said, money has been coming to the Culibao side, so that's also dropped a little bit toward the favor of Culibao. Or actually, yeah, money's been coming in on Culibao, that shows. So let's talk about the favorite first. He is a heavy, pretty heavy, over 2-1 favorite. In Seongwoo Choi, Sting trains at the MOB Center, Training Center. MOB stands for Mind Over Body. That is in Korea. I want to say, I don't know if it's Seoul, Busan. I forgot to see what city it is in, but it is definitely in Korea. Interesting fact, the owner of the gym, his name is Bae Young Kwan. He beat Mr. Perfect, Kyung Ho Kang. Beat him in 2011 by unanimous or by submission in round 1. Interesting fact. That's who Choi, who owns the MOB training center where Choi trains out of. I didn't recognize any other names throughout that, but it's cool because their whole staff wears matching uniform T-shirts. They got like, I don't know, seven staff members, I think. Interesting. But Seongwoo Choi comes in, like I said, hefty favorite. He's 29 years old. Culibao is 28. So no age discrepancy there. Seongwoo Choi does have a 2-inch height advantage, 1.5-inch reach advantage. So the tape does favor Choi slightly. He's coming off a loss to Alex Caceres by rear naked choke in round 2. I remember seeing that fight, and Choi had him dead to rights in round 1, had him rocked. He just didn't have time to finish it. So he was really aggressive in round 2, thought he can go in there, and what happened? Alex Caceres did a slick backpack body triangle. Once you get that body triangle backpack locked in, there's really, how are you going to defend that? You got somebody on your back, he's not riding too high, you get a body triangle, you can't get your hand in there, you got to defend your neck, you got to defend the choke. If you like try to throw yourself on your back to shake, it's not going to work because he's going to choke you, you're going to expose your neck. Man, once somebody's get that backpack, all you can do is try not to get submitted. But these hits, they don't do nothing. These hits, like hitting the guy that's riding your back, they do nothing. It's tough. He was in a tough situation. He got rear naked choked. Alex Caceres. What are you gonna do? Before that, though, he did not get a TKO over Julian Erosa. Prior to that, he beat Youssef Zalal unanimous decision. Prior to that, Suman Mokhtarian, unanimous decision. And before that, he lost to Canada's own Gavin Tucker. Rear naked choke again in round 3 over Seongwoo Choi. Joshua Culibao, out of Australia. As I said, he is MMA, one of 2 MMA coaches over at the Igor MMA Fight Academy. Coming off a win over Shaylan Nurembekov, unanimous decision. Before that, he had a draw against Charles Air Jourdain. Interesting. Before that, he had his UFC debut where he lost to the Tarantula Jalen Turner by ground and pound round 2. Jalen Turner coming through there. And to get him into the UFC, he was a Super Fights champ at 145 pounds. That is the Australian promotion, of course, where he beat Josh Payne, TKO round 1, capitalized on that. And he's fought in other Australian, his record's not that crazy. Everything else, there's that draw against Charles Jourdain. There's that loss to Jalen Turner. All the other 9 wins, Shaylan Nurembekov, and the rest, all regional scenes out of Australia, out of like Urban Fight Club, Diamondback Fighting, Hex Fight, all these obscure Australian. But Joshua Culibao, he's not bad. he's live. He's got, I think, a way better chance than some other people. But let's see what the cappers have to say in this one. Okay, starting with the favorite in Seongwoo Choi, Sting. We've got Leighton, UFC gambling addicts on the side of Seongwoo Choi. We've got UFC celebrities and classics, Vlad, the Bulgarian cowboy, taking Seongwoo Choi. We've got the MMA fortune teller, taking Seongwoo Choi. I mean, he's minus 230, it's kind of a given. We got Ray from MMA Pick'em's podcast, taking Choi by knockout, round 2. And finally, we've got Bleed being the contrarian picker. Right, his name big since he gets this side of the board all by himself. No capper consensus is here on this show today. Interesting. But Bleed MMA on the side of Joshua Culibao. He thinks he might be able to use a little bit of wrestling. But I'll tell you what, Seongwoo Choi is not a stranger to the ground game. I know Seongwoo Choi has got like Korean National Kickboxing Championship or Muay Thai Championships over in Korea and maybe Asia, like all of Asia. I don't know. There's something. He's got like accolades in Muay Thai. But his coach, MLB training team, whatever, they have good BJJ over there. Told you his coach tapped out Mr. Perfect Kyung Ho Kang in 2011. Tapped him first round. The owner, not even his coach, his owner, the owner of the place. And they have a coaching staff with their own BJJ instructor. A lot of, I don't know that like the Korean scene, but I think Choi's ground game can be competitive against Joshua Culibao. So, but anyway, Culibao does have a path to victory. I just don't think it's going to be on the ground. I think he might be able to pop a shot, but his chances of winning are not that great. That's why I'm on the side with the Korean and Seongwoo Choi here. I think Seongwoo Choi should be able to get. I think it's going to be within distance. I'm going to call a TKO. Man, I'm within distance on all these fights. TKO on all these fights. Maybe I should switch it to a. Nah, I'm not going to switch it to decision. Come on. Over is minus 125. Under is 105. So even the bookies really don't know. I'm going to say TKO over Josh Culibao. Round 2. So there you have it. To recap, I don't want to be too loud. My kids are up in bed already. To recap, I've got, André Fialho taking out Jake Matthews inside the distance by TKO in round 3. Then I've got Steve Garcia destroying this mod. This is one of my more confident picks. I don't know why these dudes, full out respect for all these cappers, Leighton, Bleed, and MMA fortune teller. They're phenomenal cappers. I just don't see it, guys. I don't see how you can take a guy that hasn't fought anybody with a winning record except for one dude at Contender Series, won 2 rounds, against Steve Garcia, who's fought and beat Ronnie Lawrence, Charlie Antoveros. You know what? I remember Leighton was saying Charlie Antoveros is like the Showtime Bob from The Simpsons. I think that's what he made a comparison to him, but still does. And I know Charlie Antoveros did rock him a couple times the first round, but how the fight end up? Ground and pound round 2. It wasn't like a robbery decision or any of that shit. So anyway, I'm high on Garcia in this. I think I'll double down on this. I'm gonna put this in so many parlays. It's gonna be a parlay pillar. It's definitely gonna be one of my picks for my round robin. And finally, I've got Seongwoo Choi. I think he's going to be able to finish Joshua Culibao inside the distance as well by TKO, ground and pound. I don't see a submission happening, but I do think he's going to throw a lot of volume. He's a Muay Thai champion over in Asia somewhere, probably Korea, and maybe just like all of Asia, like it was an Asian tournament or something. But he does have many trophies and belts that say Muay Thai on them in a different Chinese, Korean, Japanese language. So I'm taking Seongwoo Choi to get the TKO round 2 over Josh Culibao. So there you have it. Gather the info. Place the bets. Cash those tickets. I hope you guys all received your documents here. Go ahead and tell me I'm wrong. Tell me that this guy's a superstar and he's gonna make a big splash. You know, tell me that Jake Matthews is, you know, more than I think as a fighter. You know what, Jake Matthews, out of these 3 fights, I think he's probably got the best shot of upset over Fialho, only because he started fighting as a pro in 2014. 19 years old. Fialho just started as a pro, I want to say, well, I don't know. It's got 16-4. That's pretty extensive. I didn't write it down either, but I know it's not as in depth as Jake Matthews. He's just been super active. Anyway, I apologize for being dragged out, tired. It's been a long day. Thanks for watching, guys. Give me that thumbs up. Give me a like. I appreciate it. Throw in your comments. Check out the video I did yesterday. And good luck on your bets, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.